you finish school, you start throwing around your applications. You do not know where you're going to end up. I'm applying to maybe different banks. And then I do not have the opportunity to choose the people that I'm going to work with. I am just going to get the job offer if I go through, and then I land there.
You know why? The cause of that? Purpose.
So this means that we need to be...
If you work on yourself first, you're pruning, you're streamlining, you know what is best for you. So anything that does not align with what you think is best for you does not come to you.
What I pick maybe also, okay, saying does not come from you. Maybe another thing that I pick from you is, if say I end up in an environment where I feel I do not fit, I should be able to approach myself and look for something else.
Before you end up there, how do you get there? If you have studied agriculture, for example, many of us go to school, study agriculture, but you have never gone to the garden to even plant a maize seed, right? Yeah. Now, you have gone to school, you have a degree, you have a master's, you have a PhD in agriculture. Then you have no job. So you're like, what can I do? They call you to become maybe an accountant somewhere, clearing and forwarding. You're like, let me go. You see? Because you did not work on your craft that you had at the start.
And that also now takes me back to what I was telling you earlier, that in Uganda you can find a child in school is very good at art, very, very good at art. But because also you're an a star student, your parents know that it should be law, because all the best students in Uganda should study law. But then as a child, your passion is not law, it is in the arts. But then you go and study law, and then you end up in a field that you totally do not like, and you leave the path where your passion actually is. I think that is also a big problem.
Have you discovered that most successful men today, entrepreneurs, have actually not gone to school?
Yeah.
They go to school later.
Yes.
And that is what Robert Kiyosaki in his book, he says that A students work for B students. B students work for C students. And C students employ A and B. Right?
But may I think, however much we may go to school, there are inbuilt talents we have.
Have you discovered that inner talent that you have? It takes us to the first type of work, working on yourself.
But before working on yourself, there are some other things you keep doing. Maybe I call it unknowingly. I don't know. You find yourself already doing something.
Like what?
Let's say like what he talked about. You raised up. They are teaching you how to go hunting, but now you're branching off and doing something else. Have you had a child at home? You're trying to show them this direction, but you see them going this direction. They are good at this.
Yes, and that's now what we are talking about. Do you guide that child on that direction?
Absolutely.
Or you force them to come back this side? So it comes back to the same thing that you're trying to explain, though you're saying that before we go there. If you find that you find yourself unknowingly doing things, how are you working on yourself to better yourself in that line where you find your what can I call it, your interest? That's why you find yourself, much as you're calling it unknowingly, that means that's where your interest is. So you as Bruce, what are you doing about it? That's personal growth and development.
And the first pillar in personal growth and development and working based on yourself is to pay attention. Identify. You know, at times we may not identify who we are, but somebody may come and tell you, but Bruce, whenever you do this, you're very good at it. And you're like, for me it comes easily. Yes, now, have you put in effort to harness that of which people keep telling you that do this, or you're good at? We don't. So attention is the first thing when you're trying to work on yourself, personal development or personal
health. And there's something about the child you're talking about. As a parent, are you paying attention
to the child?
To the child, to see, my child loves drawing. Every time I'm seeing him drawing, are you paying attention to see what your child likes and actually guiding them in that area? Or you're forcing them to give you grades?
But you know that now work has totally driven us from that responsibility.
That is what we are trying to do.
Are you hearing what you say? Work has driven us away from that responsibility. Work-life balance.
Work-life balance.
That's why I told you that before I become a CEO, I'm also a parent.
Yes.
So I have to strike a balance. I am not going to leave someone else to raise my child. You've seen parents who keep asking, why do teachers send children home with homework? It's because they do not have the time. You saw last time when we had that discussion with parents, and the parents said, me, I do not have the time. I just give them their gadgets because I don't have the time, which is wrong.
It's a duty for you teachers. So difficult.
And now taking us back to work. At the end of the day, I wake up every day to work because I have a child to take care of. Personally, as me, if I didn't have my child, maybe I would be in my father's house sleeping and eating.
So let's go.
So if I focus so much on work and lose this child, then what is the whole point?
So let's go to the third level. We have talked about the first level, which is working on yourself, understanding yourself, nurturing yourself, gardening yourself. The second level is to look for the same feathers so that you can flock together. The right-minded people, like minds that are moving. Now it takes us to the third category of work. People that have the same vision.
Mind heritage, empowering mind.
That see the bigger picture. You've heard of that story of a man who was passing by people who were building. And he went to them and asked them, everybody was busy doing whatever they were doing, and he went to the first group of people and asked them, what are you doing? This one said, you know what, we are mixing sand and soil and cement so that we can create tar and give it to other people. He went to other kind of people who are also there like, no, for us waiting for those people to bring us the tar so that we can put the brick,
So they also
the
pass
brick,
it on.
yes, and make what? A wall. And then he went to the third person, he's like, no, for me, I'm waiting for them when they finish the wall and they put the roof. So he went to somebody who was just out there watching them and asked him, so for what are you doing? He's like, no, for me, I'm here waiting for these people who are building the cathedral so that we can go in and praise the Lord. Right? Now, that is the third kind of work. You need to work with people who are seeing the finished cathedral. Going to pray and be thankful to God.
Of those three you've mentioned, you wait for that person who was waiting to see and use it?
No, that person has the whole picture of the cathedral. Yet the first person only has the picture of the cement, water, and sand. The other one only is waiting that only
The
picture.
bricks.
And many of us have friends who have those who are short-sighted. So you need to have people that are looking at the end in mind. They have that
The whole
legacy,
process.
the whole process. And the person who's looking at that process actually is not self-centered. He's communal-centered. And such people don't even see the finishing of the cathedral.
How about the ones who came up with an idea?
That is the person. He came up with an idea and he knows it goes like this. So at times, many of us think building legacy, we have to enjoy it. No. A tree itself does
eat
the
its
work.
fruits.
It doesn't eat the fruits. It is you and me that go out and eat
Yeah.
the fruit. So for you to be able to work best, you need to have, what are you working for? Right? Even if you don't see it. Martin Luther King was fighting for equality for the blacks. Did he see it?
Never.
Mother Teresa for peace and blah blah, has she seen it?
Never.
But you see, it didn't stop them
it didn't
from
stop
fighting.
them from fighting.
The problem is that sometimes we are self-centered.
Yes.
We want where we benefit. If I do not see benefit for me as Judith, then I'll abandon.
And that's what we started on by saying that actually, if you work best on yourself, you'll still have mental disorders, you'll be disconnected, you won't be happy and
You'll not have
fulfilled.
But now,
satisfaction.
working best on yourself. Remember, you're leaving a chain behind. Things will definitely change.
That is when, if you've not built a legacy. Henry Ford died.
Today,
Henry Ford died. Don't you still have Ford cars here? But Divani died.
It's no more, but
It's no more.
Aga Khan.
Don't we still have his projects running? So what are you talking about?
They end up dying, man.
No. They don't. It
Now,
depends on how you
technology
build your
changes.
legacy.
Technology.
They don't
changes.
die, Bruce. He has
Bruce.
given you examples.
Yes.
Of actually, they are just getting better. The examples that he has given you, they are just getting
They
better.
only die if you miss one of the three levels of work. You can work best on yourself and you become excellent.
But it ends with
It
you.
ends with you.
You've not developed
Now,
other people.
you have to work birds of the same feathers. Look for people who
Like
are of
minds.
like mind.
and develop them,
And
empower
develop
them as well.
Then don't just be there. Show them the end. Christ came and told us the kingdom of heaven. He died. How many years?
But we are
Million
still
years.
working for the
But
kingdom.
till today,
All of
we are
us.
still working. Why? Because he showed us the picture.
And the big question here is still saying he's alive.
He lives in us. He lives in us. So, but
We are
coming
not
back,
living our own lives.
It starts with you. I started by telling you the 12 years we don't know where Christ was. He was working on himself. Then he came and formed the 12 disciples, like-minded people. 3, he gave us the vision and the dream. So in our work, if we wake up every morning to work, we have to work in those 3 lines if we want to be happy, fulfilled, and connected, because that is the underscore. But if you decide to work on either of the 3, then you become a statistic, because these 3 have to work hand in hand.
And how about this character who has worked tirelessly but not even achieving anything?
He has worked alone.
That's being greedy.
You love greed. And we come to a conclusion in our discussion of work. We have broken it down that for you to be able to work best, live happy and fulfilled, you have to work in 3 levels. 1, work based on yourself, work with people of like minds, and 3, have a vision and dream and goal that you bring all these people to work with you, or you join to achieve that intended goal that you want to do be up in life. As we conclude, I'd want our fellow discussants to also say something, and we close.
Thank you. For me, my takeaway is work. It's not just about wake up, go to work at the end of the month, get a paycheck and go home. No. It's about, first of all, personal growth. I have to work on myself, and then the people I'm working with, and finding purpose in what I'm doing. And then I'll be a satisfied person, giving results and empowering the people I'm working with. From
this lovely talk, first of all, we have to love what we are doing and love ourselves as well, and have a target and focus on achieving it.
Yes, but remember, don't greed, and remember, you can't achieve that target alone.
Yeah,
you need people. So as the common African proverb says, that if you want to walk nearer, walk alone. But if you want to walk further, have a group of people, like minds, and you'll get there. Catch us in our next episode, where we shall be discussing about
identity,
because it's from your identity that you're able to nurture who you are and find people of like minds and grow and share the vision. This is the Mind Heritage Talk. Adios.